New Mage. Captain Andy here for some more Final Fantasy XIV goodness, continuing Clalin's journey through all the quests that Final Fantasy XIV has to offer, presently in the realm Reborn. For the last couple of weeks, I've been working on all the respective job and job classes within the three main city-states, Ul'dah, Limsa Lominsa, and Gridania. We recently finished off Ul'dah and Limsa Lominsa, and as of yesterday, we started working on the job quest for Gridania. We started off with Summoner, then continued up progress towards Archer and Bard, and now we're going to continue that journey with Conjurer and White Mage. So without further ado, let us go right in. I worked on Clalin just a little bit, just to make sure she was ready for this. Don't have to, well, that took a while to get that screen. Let's make sure that she had her Conjurer job or class ready. Making sure that her action bar is set up so we don't have to waste a moment with that. And you can just enjoy the story as much as possible. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Waiting in queue still, or finally getting in. There we go. There we go. Let's join. I thank you for joining. As we did earlier today, we did the seasonal event that's currently in place. For the St. Valentina's Day, Valentine's Day. It was streamed earlier this morning, and I had a little bit of time to spare. And by all means, check it out. It's a pretty cute series. So, for Conjurer and White Mage, starting off with the Conjurer class, that is within Gridania, specifically Old Gridania, the northern part of Gridania. And because I've done this before, I have to go into New Game Plus, and we're going to start that off right away. Given that White Mage is a healer, we're holding on for a healer now, we're going to start that off right now. So Conjurer. Conjurer is an arcane art which evolved from man's communion with the elementals and preserving its ways and imparting its secrets in the domain of the Conjurer's Guild. During your training under Brother Isumiyan, you encounter a strong-willed young conjurer in training with whom you will learn what it truly means to be one with nature. Let's start this. Alright, so we're within Old Gridania as it is, the northern part of Gridania. If you look at your map at the bottom left-hand side, or you can also just look at the icon for Conjurers, the tree branch, you see the Conjurer's Guild, as well as the quest line. So you want to be a Conjurer. Let's go get that started. Excuse me. And I'm going to go straight down to here and as you're walking towards there, not sure if you've noticed this or not, but right outside each and every respective guild, there's the logo of that guild along with its banner. Well, the banner can be different for each place, depending on the city and location. But each guild had its own icon. In this case here, this tree branch being the icon for the logo for Conjurer. Then we go right in. Now, before I continue on, if you look, part of Final Fantasy XIV is like in other games, they have their own set of gods, deities, and 12 in total that we know of. And you will notice that, or as you play throughout the game, especially if you looked at the intro, it's not the intro, the end of an era, the video at the end of 1.0, where Bahamut was destroying everything, and you see the Scions praying. Us players have to do that as well. One of the places was to pray roughly around here, because right up here, I believe that is, if you look at the rock formation, move your arm, Clalin. You see like a sort of symbol of some sort. This, I believe, is the, even if I get it right, I think this is Memphina, or not Memphina, Nafika? I forget off the top of my head. Essentially, you have to pray here because this is where you would symbolize, not tell me, Nafika's altar. Yeah, so this would be Nafika's location right here. So you'd have to pray here along with each of the other deities' locations. Some of it has changed since Realm Reborn. They placed them off in different locations, such as some are within Western Corsus. Ralger's Reach is now within, Ralger's spot used to be in Southern Thanalan, if I remember right. Now it's within, the Stormblood area, which we'll get there eventually. Okay, so we're doing Conjurer. So as for Conjurer, when you get to this area, it's inside this hollowed out tree. At least that's where the beginning is. So we just go through the tree, continue on. For it being inside a tree, it has pretty good electricity in here. And here we go. Well met, adventurer. You are come to Stillgate Fane. Fine. Stillgate Fane, home of the Conjurers Guild. We conjurers harness the powers of earth, wind, and water that abound in nature, and thereby weave spells of healing and protection. Ever do we seek noble souls to initiate into our mysteries. Might you be such a soul? Come to join the guild? Of course. Then allow me to provide you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. Conjuring is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the power of nature that they might bring about change in the form of spells. Primitive magic, such as that once wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those with the ability to manipulate ether, has existed since the dawn of time. It was not until some 5 centuries ago that conjuring emerged from its shapeless agglomeration of spells and charms, an event which led to the founding of Gridania. In those dark days, the elementals would not suffer man's presence in the Twelveswood, forcing our forebears to make their homes beneath the earth, in the great subterranean city of Gelmora. But their desire to settle in the Twelveswood continued to burn fiercely. Time and again, they sought to curry the elementals' favor. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh, the elementals are beings of pure ether. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld reasoned that their talent of etheric manipulation might allow them to commune with these theretofore enigmatic entities. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. The reward? The elementals' permission to dwell in the Twelveswood. So it was that the nation of Gridania was born. Since that time, the elementals have taught us to live as one with nature, speaking to all Gridanians through the hearers, those mages who are able to commune with them. And for their intimacy with the elementals, the hearers would go on to attain greater mastery over the forces of nature. Thus did they convene the art of conjuring. And that, my most attentive listener, is a brief history of conjuring. If you have a mind to walk our path, I wholeheartedly recommend you join our guild. It will be my pleasure to explain the initiation process to you. Pray speak with me again when you are ready. Alright. Is your mind made up? Are you ready to join the Conjurers Guild? Of course. That is well. I shall introduce you to our guildmaster, Brother Isumiyan. Brother Isumiyan presides over the Conjurers Guild even as he serves the nation as a hearer. You'll find him in the meditation area within. Go to him and make known your desire to join the guild. Greetings, adventurer. I am told you wish to become a conjurer of Stillgate Fane. I am Brother Isumiyan, master of this guild. Before you are formally accepted into our ranks, I would impart to you the principles of conjuring. Pray attend to me. Pray attend me well. Conjuring is an arcane art that takes life in the living for its domain. Its primary purpose is the salving of hurts and the granting of protection. Adventurers such as yourself often stand upon the front lines of battle. Owing to this, you're likely to find yourself in many situations wherein a capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there is more to conjure than that. By harnessing the power of earth, wind, and water, conjurers are also capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. In terms of sheer destructive power, conjuring may pale in comparison to thaumaturgy, but its capacity to defend one against aggression more than compensates for this relative shortcoming. In mastering healing and purification, not only will you be able to mend wounds and purge afflictions, you will also be able to breathe life back into the fallen. More than simply healers, yet not true dealers of destruction, conjurers realize their full potential when they employ their powers in support of others. This, my dear adventurer, is what it means to be one of us. One of us. One of us. Mayhap that was too much to grasp upon a single hearing. But worry not, for the meaning of my words will become clear to you in due time. Aye, you'll come to understand that conjuring is not the sole province of the conjurer. Should you wish to walk our path, I must needs ask that you solemnly vow to embrace nature, to heed the will of the elementals and the 12 woods. Can you make this vow? Yes, of course. I knew your answer ere your lips had pardoned, yet I am no less pleased to hear it. By the power invested in me, I hereby name you a member of the Conjurers Guild. If you be so kind to lend me your hunting log, I shall add to it the names of such creatures as would pose a suitable challenge to a conjurer. And to mark this momentous occasion, I present to you this cane. Though it may be old and weathered, it will serve you well as you take your first steps upon the path of the conjurer. Take up the cane, Clalin, and present yourself to me once more. I would assign you your first task as a conjurer of Stillglade fame. Woo! Done the first quest! Conjurer unlocked! The part of conjurer becomes you, Clalin. Without further ado, I shall assign you your first task as a conjurer of Stillglade flame. Just beyond the city gate, you will encounter squirrels, ladybugs, and fungar. I would have you slay 3 of each. Lest you wonder how I can so coolly order the taking of life, know that things are not as they once were. As a consequence of the calamity, and I may add, through no fault of their own, these creatures have become a burden to the 12's wood, a burden it cannot well bear. As a conjurer, it is your duty to carry out the will of the forest, and by employing your powers in doing so, you will come to learn something of your art. Go now, and perform your first task in the name of the elementals. So we go out and start exterminating the local life. The local wildlife. Alright, we're moving. Conjurer. Honore. Right? Bertanan. And hop. Oh, no hopping. Okay, no hopping. The Central Shroud. Staff meeting. Hey, staff meeting, die. Alright, next. This may be a little overkill for these guys. I don't want to interrupt her reveling in the destruction of these things. So let's go off here. That's where a hole would come in handy. Hey, it's a shriek shroom. I gotta sell some of this. Holding out for a hero. Bonnie Taylor. I need a healer. I'm gonna start using that Aetheryte shard soon. This walking becomes a little tedious. I find it's one thing to do the storyline with using the porter chocobos because usually just going to one spot. Here you go back and forth, back and forth. Simeon. Welcome back, Clalin. The elementals have told me of your success. By placing yourself in the midst of nature and seeing it with a conjurer's eyes, you have taken your first step along the path of enlightenment. Healing, protection, and destruction. Though our spells vary in function, they all derive their power from the same source, the forces embodied in all creation. By gaining a true understanding of these, a conjurer may call upon them to manipulate his environment, thereby realizing the state of being that he desires. Ah yes, yours is a familiar look, the very picture of confusion. Be not disheartened, for comprehension shall come in due time. For now, we must learn to reach out to the forces embodied in each of us. Pray, hearken to mine instructions. Breathe deep and open your eyes to that which cannot be seen. Feel the myriad life around you and draw upon this boundless reservoir of energy. Take up your cane and use it to lend it that energy form. Go forth, my young conjurer, and be at one with the world. Return to me when you have learned to draw upon the forces around you with the self-same ease you draw upon those within. It is good to see you again, Clalin. By the air of serenity that surrounds you, it is plain that you have learned to draw upon the energy of creation. I am glad. It is the wellspring of all our power. Yet the energy of creation is not one thing but many, and to call upon all without first knowing each is conjured at its most basic. As part of your continuing education, it is my desire that you learn about the element of earth. Make your way to Blessed Bud in the North Shroud, and there partake of Hearer Lonanel's wisdom. The depth of his infinity for the elementals of rock and soil is all but unique amongst conjurers, and he is a gifted instructor besides. You may be certain of receiving a most enlightening lesson on the subject of Earth. The Blessed Bud. Bud sounds good for tonight. Not sure if it's blessed, but a bud might sound good for tonight. Sure, it'll taste blessed. Yes, your dragoon! Let's go! And we're running. North Shroud is just out here. That's why I didn't bother using the teleport crystal, because it can just be a quick walk. The North Shroud. So we have to go this way. It's kind of cool how these quests force you to go into the world just to get out of the comforting parts of the world and just explore. Get used to taking walks outside. No lanad. No lanad. You seek here no lanad? Then seek no more, for you have found him. What can I do for you, friend? So, Brother Isumian bid you come to me to learn the element of earth? That is well. That is well. The power of earth is the solid foundation upon which a conjurer stands. I could happily lecture you for days on its intricate variations and properties, but I rather suspect the busy life of an adventurer would not afford the time required for such extended discourse. Accordingly, I shall offer you an opportunity to experience the qualities of earth firsthand, in combat. Now mark me well, Clalin, and do exactly as I command. East of here, in the grounds of Treespeak Stables, there exists a patch of soil that bears the mark of corruption. Seek it out. When you have found the place, reach out to the focus of the earth's trauma and attempt to commune with it, as all conjurers can. Resentful of your intrusion, the tainted being that feasts unseen upon the energy seeping from the wounded earth shall then appear. Using the powers of conjury, strike it down and permit the land a chance to heal. Much of the nature of earth will be revealed to you during the struggle. I trust you will return to me a wise woman than she who now departs. Alright, let's go. This way. Okay. Let's go up the hill. Not that way. Let's go around the other way. Remember, you can jump down, but you can't jump up. Oh well, that's just fine. I remember it's in the back. Yep. Tainted earth spear got beaten up by earth. Alright. Welcome back. The elementals whisper of your accomplishments. How did it feel to confront the embodiment of Earth? To endure its onslaught? Has the crushing power of this element shaken the very marrow of your bones? I guess. Corruption occurs when the land's wounds are prevented from healing. In vanquishing the tainted sprite, you permitted the Earth's energy to flow unimpeded and to nourish the land once more. Can you not sense the strength of the earth returning? Already the land begins to heal. Thanks to your actions, that field will once again bear bountiful crops. When next you have reason to call upon your art, look back upon this task and that which you accomplished. Experience once more the grinding weight of the earth's fury, and revel in the memory of life flowing anew through the land you helped restore. With such thoughts shall your understanding of nature continue to grow. I hope you're paying attention, Sylvie. Where'd she come from? See this adventurer here? Clalin came all the way from Stillgate Glade Fane just to hear my lesson. You would do well to learn from her example. If you wish to become a conjurer worthy of the name, you must make an effort to study nature. Do you attend me, young lady? Why should I bother studying nature? I can conjure already. See? You have a rare gift for healing, Sylvie. A wonderful gift. Yet there is more to conjure than... But I don't want to do more. I want to heal. I'm good at healing. You can't make me do those other things. Sometimes I wonder why I even try. Sylvie joined the guild shortly before you came to us. As you yourself just experienced, she possesses a prodigious talent for healing. Indeed, despite her tender years, I know a few conjurers who are her equal in that field. Alas, nature, the very wellspring of her power, holds no interest for the child, and when she should by rights be learning about the land, and when she should by rights be learning about the land, she prefers instead to wander it, healing people on a whim. You, in contrast, must have been a most attentive student. I have taught you all in... I can't speak right now. I have taught you all I know of the element of earth. You may report back to Brother Isumi and tell him as much. Okay, let's go Henderson. And we go here, down the path, through the tree. Ah, Clalin, you have returned. But tell me, how did you fare under Nolanel's expert tutelage? Have you delved deep into the earth and felt its suffocating weight? Its life-sustaining vigor? Such experiences will serve you well. And have you aught else to report? a fledgling conjurer named Sylvie cast healing magic upon you? How kind of her. I must confess to sharing Nolena's frustration with the girl. As you yourself has witnessed, Sylvie possesses a natural talent for the conjuring of mending and restoration. Alas, her gifts appear to have blinded her to the need for study, and she outright refused to learn about the natural world. She knows nothing of the elements of earth and wind, and is quite incapable of conjuring even the tiniest pebble of the faintest breeze. I have tried upon numerous occasions to explain to her that conjurers who are ignorant of the source of their power pose a risk to themselves and others, but all to no avail. Should she continue to deny the debt she owes to nature, and indulge in her more reckless displays of power, there is every possibility that she will create a dangerous imbalance. Needless to say, I am presently at a loss to how such an eventuality might be prevented. Ah, a thought has occurred to me. It may be that your encounter with Sylvie was ordained by the elementals. Should you chance to meet her again, I ask that you strive to impress upon her the importance of opening oneself to nature's voice. Mayhap she'll listen to you. But we have discussed a wayward young friend's education enough. Let us speak instead of one of my more willing pupils, namely you. The progress you have made does you great credit, Clalin. Though you are yet new to the art of conjuring, you are no stranger to nature's embrace. Considering all that you have learned, I hope you understand the true significance of these words. Let's continue. Greetings, Clalin. Each time we meet, the part of conjurer befits you ever better. In your previous lesson, you learned about the element of earth. It is my desire that you next become acquainted with the wind. Travel to Full Flower Combe in the East Shroud, and seek the teachings of Wolfew. Though scant few years had passed since her coming of age, Wolfew is a conjurer of consummate skill, who is able to divine the will of air elementals with uncommon clarity. I can recommend no better tutor for your lessons in the mysteries of wind. Much like before, the best way to get to East Shroud. So East Shroud is by taking the boat from, if you're within Gridania. Which, if you look at the map, it's way up here. I'm just going to take this shard at this point. Let's see, boom here. Wolfew. You must be Clalin. Brother Itsumiyan sent word to expect you. It shall be my pleasure to instruct you on the patterns of gusts and gales. Now, how to proceed? Pray forgive my hesitation. It was but recently that I attained the title of Hearer, and well, you are my first student. Ah, yes, I believe I have a suitable task for you. To the east of Sweet Bloom Pier, there is a small spring, giving rise to a pool. Go there and clear the air of the honeybee swarm which lately took up residence in the area. You seem uncertain. You may have to wonder at the connection between my request and the subject of your study. I sympathize. But trust me, inexperienced though it may seem, this deed will deepen your understanding of wind. Given experience with job quests, this will take about a good 2-3 hours from when I started, so strap yourselves in. And that's done. Welcome back. I take it the bees are no more? Tell me, did you happen to notice many of the Valkyns' preferred flowers in the vicinity of the spring? I ask because there were none. Strange then, is it not, that the bees should choose to congregate there? And what has caused this aberrant behavior? Still your mind and reach out with your senses. Can you feel it? The path of the wind veers from its natural course, sweeping hapless creatures along its wake. Something is playing havoc with the air currents. Such a disturbance bespeaks corruption. Return to the spring near Sweet Bloom Pier and search for pockets of corrupted air. Should you find one, use your power conjurer to disperse it. We're in a forest. Oh, this wasn't here before. What happened? Oh, it's level 14. Okay. Hey, it's just a roof for you. Raw sludge. Well done. Though it no longer keens its frustration. Let us return to Full Flower. I must apologize for exposing you to such danger. The corruption was greater than I anticipated. But it is through such trials that we flourish as conjurers. Now then, what did you learn as you struggled with the air's grasp? You will doubtless have noticed that the wind does not strike with the instant crushing force of earth. Instead, it torments one's form, dancing across every surface and leaving 1,000 tiny wounds in its wake. These are the agonies of erosion. Having experienced such pain, you are now intimately acquainted with wind's capacity for patient destruction. No land is a stranger to its power. When you stand under distant skies and feel the wind's familiar caress upon your skin, remember the lessons you have learned here this day. I suppose I should be grateful that this latest elemental disturbance manifested itself at such an opportune time. Only the gods know what I would have taught you had it not. Yet, the growing frequency of such phenomena begins to concern me. While it is true that the calamity wrought such harm upon the Twelveswood, I suspect some other forces at work here. I bid you remain wary. But enough of these ominous rumblings. I regret to say that your time with me is at an end. Return to Stillgate Fane and inform Brother Isumi of your newfound mastery. Oh, and be sure to thank him for sending me such a willing first student. Alright, let's go speak with Murodel. I need a healer. Holding out for healing till the end of the night. Yeah, if you just walk, you get to experience more of this beautiful place, but sometimes walking can make things a little bit longer. But if you want to go to a place that's off the beaten track just for a little quietness, away from people, these back roads of Gridania can help you with that. Now go inside here. Through the tree trunk, around the bend. Open thine doors. Hey, it's Dr. Tate. Bye, Dr. Tate. Welcome back. The elementals inform me that you have opened your ears to the voice of the wind. That is well. Having made allies of two elements, you are well on your way along the path of conjury. Though full comprehension of these forces will only come to you in the fullness of time. Be patient. As you seek to embrace nature more fully, so will nature hold you more closely. They made you study wind? Why, brother? Why bother? You don't need wind to heal things. Whatever these dreary lessons tell you. Conjurer is inextricably. Wow. Conjurer is inextricably bound with nature, Sophie. Sophie. That dreary lesson is one you should have learned by now. I assume by your presence here that you have once again abandoned your tutors? You must understand. If you persist in casting spells without the proper knowledge, I have all the knowledge I need. My mother never needed to embrace nature to heal, and the people she helped were thankful for her art. I learned conjuring the same way she did, and become just as great a conjurer. You'll see. But I didn't come here to argue with you, Brother Itsumi. I want to tell you that I've discovered how to cast rays. How? What were you thinking, girl? You know not what you do, what you risk. You are meddling with forces beyond your comprehension. Should you even attempt to use that spell, I'll have no recourse but to strip you of the name of conjurer and banish you from our halls. Do I make myself clear? Why must you be so angry with me? It's not as if I'm trying to hurt anyone. But that's... Sylphie, my dear child. That is precisely the point. My apologies. I hope you do not find these constant disruptions distracting. As you have just heard, Sylphie's mother was also a conjurer who was unable to use any spells outside of the sphere of healing. Needless to say, Sylphie seeks to emulate her in every way. It is a rare and wondrous talent to heal without relying on the energies of nature. But such power is not born of true conjuring. By all that we know of the art, it should not be possible for Sylphie to cast rays. I shudder to think what would happen if she tried. I fear my inability to set her upon the true path reflects my own failings as a teacher. I'm only glad that those same failings have not hindered you. Whether it be with my help or in spite of it, I believe you will become a fine conjurer. Already you are blessed with great power, and more shall be yours should you persevere with our art. As indeed I hope you shall. Yet however much you grow, however powerful you become, remember that ours is a power borrowed, not taken. Indeed. It is good to see you again. By the aura you exude, it is plain you have grown further as a conjurer. The time must come that you acquaint yourself with the third element of our art, water. For the first part of your lesson, you are to take this flask of pristine water and pour it at the foot of the hedge tree found near the hawthorn hut. The water's purity will draw forth the corrupting entity that is siphoning the tree's life force. Dispatch this being and then speak with Brother Joaquin at the hawthorn hut. Joaquin. As you might expect, he is a conjurer with a fine ear to the murmurings of brook and stream. Listen well to his advice if you would learn to master the element of water. Back to East Shroud. Chocobo time. Pristine water. A flask of water drawn from the banks of a pristine lake in the East Road. Tainted water spirit. Destroyed by Earth. Alright. Greetings. Brother Isu informed me of your coming. I assume it was you who purified the befouled water at the hedge tree? Yep. The joyous bubbling of the elementals was a pleasure to hear. On behalf of both them and myself, I thank you. Now, without further ado, let us speak of that which Brother Isumi sent you here to learn. I trust you did not find it strange to be asked to tend to a tree when your lesson this day concerns the element of water. One need not have studied botany to realize that the forest requires more than rich soil to flourish. Water is essential for carrying the nutrients in the earth from a tree's root all the way to the very tips of its leaves. This precious liquid is the lifeblood of the Tweleswood. Without it, naught would grow. But should it rise in too great a volume and too swiftly, the nourishing flow will become a crashing wave that washes away all before it. It is important to realize that all of nature is in balance. As Conjure derives its power from nature, we must take care not to use our art in a manner like to disrupt the state. Ever must we be mindful of the ceaseless tug-of-war embodied in creation. This fruitful statement of the elements. Brother Yakin, are you about? Maximilien. I am here, sir. What has transpired? I heard a young antelope stags have gone berserk. I don't know what's got him so panicked, but there's no calming him now. The mad beast gore the soldiers sent to shepherd him away from civilian settlements, leaving us with a pile of wounded over at Jocelyn Spire, and not enough hands to stench the bleeding. We need a healer, and fast. Curious. I said nothing I'm missing the whisperings of the elementals. What could have frightened these antelopes so? Apologies. I shall revisit these musings anon. Let us make haste. If matters are as chaotic as you say, I fear the number of injured may be rising as we speak. I doubt we two will suffice. We must divide our forces. Clalin, travel straightway to Jocelyn Spire and tend to the wounded. I shall endeavor to rally further healers and follow after you, bearing what restorative unguents I can. Unguents? You, sir, hit the Stillglade Fane and beseech the aid of Brother Itsumi. Yeah, there you have to go around. Who are a conjurer, you say? Praise Nafika. You've come not a moment too soon. Sounds like yet more wounded have just been carried in. Pray offer them what aid you can. I can breathe again. Thank you. These folks are out of danger for the present, but I fear our reprieve shall be brief. The battle with the stags yet rages, and there are reports of yet more wounded. I bid you join the Wood Whalers and help them put an end to this. Seek them just off the road that leads to the northeast, and do not worry. My art should be sufficient to prevent matters from worsening here. Now, go. Ow. Come to lend a hand, have you? Quickly, the fight is this way. Okay. Hey, Sophie's here. Conjurer, your aid! Alright. I'm fine. Don't mind me. Pray tell me that we are not too late. Sophie, what have you done? I forbade you from using such methods. Guildmaster, I will not see you repeat your mother's mistakes. My mother never did anything wrong. Clalin, may I ask that you follow her, please? I fear my presence will only serve to provoke her further. She cannot have gone far in her weakened state. I don't understand. When I try to cast spells, nothing happens. When I reach for my power, there's just nothing there. Is this what the Guildmaster was trying to warn me about? He said I was repeating my mother's mistakes. The same thing happened to her. Losing her magic, I mean. And then she... Am I going to die? This can't be happening. I didn't think... Please, I need to be alone. Still gate flame, let's screw it, I'm just gonna teleport. Yeah, I'm just gonna teleport back. Oh, excuse me. Go this way because it'll be really quick to get to the Conjurer's Guild through here. Clalin, you have returned at last. Were you able to speak with Sylphie? I see. I once taught you that conjurers harness the power of nature that we might bring about change. Earth, wind, water, healing. The principle is no different. For the art of mending, we draw on the boundless life force of nature and bestow it upon the wounded. Sylphie has never sought to borrow from that bounty. Her power to heal stems from her own life force. The vital energies of mortals are, however, finite, and now that which I have feared has come to pass. Her mother unwittingly took her own life through the continued use of her healing skills. And Sylphie's aptitude for the art is, if anything, even greater. Thus, it is not unexpected that she should reach the limits of her strength at a much earlier age. If we do not intervene, this terrible tragedy will be repeated. I, for one, cannot bear to see the child suffer the same fate as her mother. I shall think on a solution to this dark dilemma. It may be that I will have need of your assistance in the near future. Do not doubt your abilities. You are a conjurer who has passed the trials of earth, wind, and water. You grow closer to nature with each passing day, and have sent within you the seeds of greatness. In your encounter with water, you learned its role as a bringer of life, but you have also felt the implacable power of a surging wave as it swept you along in its path. Like earth and wind, and nature at large, the element of water is possessed of more than one aspect. Having completed the third lesson, I am satisfied that you have mastered the fundamentals of conjuring. Yet this is but just the beginning of your journey. Henceforth, you must strive to attune yourself ever more closely to the elementals and to nature. Greetings. You radiate the confidence of a conjurer who neglects not her study of the elements. I confess I have no lesson for you to learn this day. Instead, I would ask that you aid me in the education of another. Yes, I speak of Sylphie. After no small amount of prompting, bordering on coercion, the child has finally promised to attempt to embrace the forces of nature. But I'm afraid the matter is not so easily resolved. Sylphie has never attempted to learn the basic offensive spells that you and most other conjurers mastered before her venturing into the wild. As such, she's ill-equipped to undertake the trials which furnished you and your peers with an understanding of the elements. Simply put, she is no match for the tainted spirits of nature. But if a more capable conjurer were to accompany her and purify the corruption in her stead, it may yet serve to impress upon her the power of the forces at work. I bid you take her on a pilgrimage around the Twelveswood, and give her the opportunity to witness these confrontations firsthand. Earth, wind, fire, she must know them all. So earth, wind, and water. Show her the majesty and primal ferocity of nature. As it was with you, let earth be your first lesson. Sylphie awaits you at Bent Branch Meadows. Pray forgive my presumption, but I thought it best to send her on ahead while her conviction remains strong. Once you have located the patch of corrupted soil at Bent Branch, draw forth the tainted sprite and let her witness the struggle that ensues. May the elementals aid in your endeavor. Bent Branch, that is the Etherite part in Central Shroud, I believe. Ah, that's where. I could go around. I'm just gonna go straight here. Let me up! There we go, thank you. Oh, what's up there? Fine. I'm not gonna... Hey, look, it's Sylphie. Oh, I wasn't sure you'd come. You are kind to help me. I've done nothing but mock you. Well, if you're ready, the corrupted soil is just there. I promise I'll be paying attention. Alright, Sylphie? First lesson you're gonna learn that this is This is a lesson, but this is also a staff meeting. Staff meeting. Staff meeting. The painful staff meeting. I wasn't scared. I was just a little startled. That's all. It was as if a solid wrath just erupted from the ground. I've never felt anything like... I mean, never mind. We have to head to the Bannock next. Let's get this over with. Bannock? Alright, that's east. Fine, game. I'll take the proper way eventually. Corrupted air. Oh, there you are. This seems to be the place I'll be watching, so do whatever it is you do. Much like before, start off with the staff meeting. Gods, the wind blew straight through me. It felt both gentle and sharp at the same time. I can't explain it. This is something that you can conjure? Let's be on our way. The last one is at Lilystone. Lilystone. Okay, that's quite the ways it off. Chocobo? Yes? There's water here? Okay. No staff meeting that time. That's been adjourned. The lake is so beautiful. I never noticed how clearly the sky is reflected in its surface. I never noticed. Let's head back. I'm ready to speak with the guildmaster now. Me too. Let's go. No, not Limsa. Gridania. Yeah, if you do all these quests, you're going to become intimately familiar with the cities. Like, oh, if you do all of them. Plus, it gets you to enjoy the lore of the game. Welcome back, my avid conjurers. How fared you in the encounter with the elements? Sophie, what did you sense as Clalin cleansed the sources of corruption? It's hard to explain. It was like hearing voices crying out in joy. And I felt their happiness wash over me. The world seemed sharper, more alive. It was almost as if nature were speaking to me. But why, Brother Isumi? Why did my mother teach me to avoid this side of conjuring? What was she so afraid of? There are certain truths that hide behind the mask of her words, and there is much that your mother didn't tell you. But you needn't seek all answers at once, Sophie. Even now, your mind founders amid a sudden inundation of awareness. The first time we connect with nature can be a wonderful but disorienting experience. I suggest you allow yourself some time to adjust to this new perspective. Yes, Guildmaster. You have my gratitude, Clalin. Thanks to you, Sophie has taken the most important step. You heard her mention voices crying out in joy, did you not? It appears the mother's gift has been passed on to the daughter. Such sensitivity is not something one can achieve through meditation and training, but a blessing that only a few fortunate chosen receive. And, as you have no doubt surmised, Sophie's mother was one such person. The misunderstanding of that blessing, however, was what led her down such a tragic path. We cannot allow Sophie's astonishing talents to consume her in the same manner. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. The girl has barely awoken to her potential. And for that potential to be fully realized, your support is yet needed. I suspect she failed to mention that the promise of your involvement in her lessons was the reason for her change of heart. Ah, you understand the impression your quiet demeanor has made on young Sophie. If modesty prevents you from acknowledging your own good deed, consider this task as part of your training. For conjurers are healers of wounds, be they physical or otherwise. Walk with her on her journey, and together explore the myriad mysteries of nature. Of course. Welcome, Clalin. The tales of your deeds reach me even here in the cloistered heart of Stillglade Fane. Glad I am that you have come, for I ask your assistance in a matter of some delicacy. It concerns, yes, young Sophie once again. As you can no doubt imagine, the recent revelations concerning her mother have sorely troubled the poor child. It appears Sophie needed some time alone to sort through the whirlwind of emotions which now beset her. She has, in short, fled from the guild. Fortunately, a party of conjurers who were dispatched to the South Shroud to investigate another instance of corruption sent word that they had spotted our wayward Sophie. Considering the importance of their mission, I would not seek to distract the conjurers from their task. Thus, I turn to you to escort Sophie back here to the guild. You are, I believe, one of the few people to whom she will listen. Pray travel to Busker and Druthers and speak with Wufu. She was a conjurer who first chanced upon Sophie, and will be able to tell you more of how the young lady fares. You should add a chocobo portal location to Buscarin's Druthers. I mean, they have one from... what's that? Can't remember the name off the top of my head. They have one from Quarry Mill to Buscarin's, as well as Camp Tranquil to Buscarin's. And when you take a chocobo from Gridania to either Quarry Mill or Camp Tranquil or vice versa, you go through Buscarin's. So can you not just add a spot right in the middle? That would help out a lot. Now again, I'm not sure if people actually use chocobo porters. I forget it. Just teleport. North. Okay. Ow. You know what? That's what I'll do. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da, la da 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 da. Da 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 da. Meet again, Clalin. I assume Brother Itsumi warned you of the corruption my companions and I have been tasked with purifying here in the South Shroud. The source of this extensive blight is found to be to the southeast. The shrill, discontent voices of the elementals shriek their dismay in the vicinity of the withered treant. I suggest you give the area a wide berth. Considering the potential dangers, you might imagine how alarmed I was to discover young Sylphie wandering about these parts of the Twelvewood. It would seem that her mother, a woman who healed with conjuring, but remained untrained by the guild, called this region her home. Sylphie herself had had her head buried in some manner of tomb. But if she is as sensitive to the elemental's murmurings as I am led to believe, then the din within her mind must be driving her to distraction. Pray speak with the child and see that she is well. I would do so myself if our current duty were not so pressing. We will, in fact, be setting out at any moment. Hello. Clalin! I should have known that Wolfie would tattle on me. And Brother Itsumi sent you to take me back, didn't he? Yep. This is where my mother used to live, you know. Right up until she passed on. Folk were grateful for the healing she offered. And this is the journal she used to keep. There's an entry that explains how nature becomes furious when conjurers use their art. How there are always more people wounded in battle when mortals abuse a power that is not theirs to take. Mother refused to draw on nature because she was scared of making it angry. She wouldn't lie about such things, and I want to do what she would have wanted. I'm going to stop using conjuring altogether. I've never heard the voice of this mad before. I bet it's because Wolfie and the others are overusing their art. We have to go and stop them. Odin? Again? There. Not that. So I'm taking a brief pause on this, looking for Odin. I don't know why, it's fun trying to beat him. Not here. Whenever you see tension, that means Odin is in the shroud somewhere. Where exactly in the shroud? Well, that's what you need to find out. It won't show up on the main map, but it's a fate. East Shroud. The person that killed Odin last, Irish Sternkeep. She's in our party. Yeah, if you have the killing blow on Odin, he takes your form. Yeah, so that's what they would look like. Three blue mages. Wow. I can't heal myself. As I'm not in Stormblood. Sorry, Heaven's Ward. I can't move, I'm bound. And petrified. Wow. He really wants to kill me. Well, I'm dead. Or not. Shite. And I'm bound again. Okay. Of course that would hit me. Poor NPC. Poor mobs on the side. Go, 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 go. I could use a heal, guys. So dead. I guess I'm not dead. Who got the kill? That wasn't me. Alright. And head back to our storied lives. Good. Back to white mage duties. Or conjure duties, really. I need the cedar thing. Sorry for the brief interruption there, but it's Odin. Odin must be looked after. Saddlebag? Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh my. God, it's so loud. Can't you hear it? Nature is shrieking in rage. Mud pie. That's easy. Never had the earth so confounded me. I must apologize. Thank you for your timely assistance. With the origin of the corruption now neutralized, we should be able to cleanse whatever traces remain. You possess quite an affinity for the elements. That was most impressive. I can't believe nature actually helped us. There was nothing scary about it at all. I still wonder if it was really safe for conjurers to borrow that power if I hadn't seen the way you wield it. Nothing could seem more natural. I think it's time I went back to the guild. There are a few things I want to collect first, so please, go on without me. Go on ahead without me. Okay. See, this is what I mean. We go right through Buscaron's Druthers. There's a Chocobo keep here. Chocobo Porter. Why can't there just be a stop from here in Gridania? Because when we come from Gridania, we go through here to either go to Quarry Mill or to Camp Tranquil. So why not just add a stop in the middle? Must be because they're holding out for a healer. Who's got to be fresh from the fight. Gotta be good and gotta be strong. And you're probably not thinking it smells like Chocobo. Where does that take us? Lavender beds. Cool. What if I could use that as a means to get to lavender beds quicker? That can wait for a quick way to Virginia, lavender beds, that place, and a quick way to get to South Shroud without having to make trips through Central Eastern, or not much of it. That's an idea. I have to think on that. Here we go. Here we go. Guildmaster Isumiyan. Welcome back. And you also, Sylphie. Brother Isumi, I'm sorry I ran away like that. I understand, child. Did you find the answers you sought? Yes, thanks to Clalin, she showed me that nature was nothing to be afraid of. I think I know why Mother refused to call upon its power. She believed the act caused suffering to nature itself. I see. So it was her very love for nature that prevented her from drawing on its strength. Tell me, Sophie, has the fog of indecision now lifted from your mind? It has, Guildmaster. I understand now why Mother chose the path she did. Full glad am I to hear that, for I must ask you one more question. Yes, Brother Izumi? When you first witnessed Clalin cleanse a corrupted element, you mentioned hearing voices. How exactly did they sound? The voices? Well, they sounded joyful, like a crowd letting out a sudden cheer. I really heard them, I swear. I am sure you did, Sophie. This is a gift. Conjurers may sense the power of nature, borrow from its strength, but not all can hear its whispers. What you describe are the voices of the elementals. You may very well possess the talent to become a hearer. A hearer? Of course, much relies on your studies of conjuring. You have a natural aptitude, but have thus far lacked commitment. You must not neglect your training, Sophie. Putting aside such matters for a moment, I am curious to hear about the disturbance you observed in the South Shroud. I assume from the reports I received that it was a different magnitude to those which you have previously encountered. Am I correct? This bodes ill. The creatures known as mud pies are not native to the Twellswood. I wonder what relation this may have to the seemingly ever-increasing frequency of these disturbances. Something beyond the damage wrought by the calamity afflicts the Twelvewood. I shall commune with the elementals and seek to identify this threat. Clalin, Sophie, I may have need of you both before long. Until then, give yourselves over to the study of our art. Ever shall the earth meet your footfall, and the wind guide your path. Ah, Clalin, your presence here is most welcome. I have another task to which your maturing skills are well suited. Attend me closely. Expansive wounds that ooze corruption have formed throughout the forest. After examining the traces of the sizable disturbances you previously cleansed, I could only conclude that this phenomena is the work of a malign agent. It must be found swiftly, lest the corruption spread, and I would have you assist in this investigate. Guildmaster, you must let me help. Sophie? Since I got back from the South Shroud, I spent all my time studying the forces of nature. I even sat through one of Hearer Nolanel's lectures. The Twellswood is crying out in pain. My skills are still a bit lacking in some areas, but I want to do what I can for the forest. Lacking? Sophie, you have yet to master a single offensive spell. Without the means to defend yourself, it would be far too dangerous to send you off into the forest alone. So I am to stay here then? Not necessarily. Clalin, with your consent, I would have Sophie accompany you once more. I do not propose this arrangement solely with her safety in mind. Given the nature of the investigation, it is likely that Sophie's innate talent for hearing will prove as useful to you as your conjuring will to her. There is much you might accomplish together there. Wow. Sophie, you are not to approach any sources of corruption without Clalin at your side. Do I make myself clear? And should you chance to encounter the origin of these disturbances, do not initiate a confrontation. Too often you allow your curiosity to overwhelm your good sense. Now good. Now go. May the elementals watch over you. Yes, Guildmaster. Something tells me we should start a quarry mill in the South Shroud. Meet me there as soon as you can, Clalin, and hurry. The corruption is spreading. This way. Where we last met the mud pies. I'm getting hungry again. I shall eat once I'm done with the White Mage quest line. Tonight's menu, shepherd's pie. There's the tainted soil. Please do what you can. Tainted earth spirit! Oh! Safe. That was brilliant, but it was only the start. The forest still groans in pain. I can hear it. I think it's coming from the the northeast. Let's go and have a look. More corrupted soil. Over to you. Staff meeting. Beat it with a stick to the end. You're doing very well. Really well. But I think there's another one, and well, it calls to me even more fervently than the last. It's to the east, I think. Yes, to the east. Right here. This corruption is everywhere. Alright, come on out. Nice work. The earth here feels healed. And yet there's another disturbance. And it's big. Really big. It's hard to describe, but it feels sort of wronger. I think it might be causing all of this. I know Brother Isumi said we weren't to confront it, but we can't just let it corrupt the rest of the forest. And however powerful it is, it can't be any more powerful than you. You're amazing. What I mean to say is, I'm willing to risk a scalding if you are. It's not far from here, somewhere to the southeast, I think. Shall we at least take a closer look? Battle time. I don't think you need to be able to hear the voices of the forest to notice that, do you? The corruption is definitely coming from somewhere around here. That's odd. As soon as we arrived, the sense of wrongness I had suddenly felt less, well, it just felt less. It's almost as if it's holding its breath or hiding. Do you see that? Just in that one spot. There. The air seems wrong. Ah! Akuman. Creatures of void scent. Have a brother Izumi speak of them. Be careful, you'll be paralyzed if you meet its gaze. I thought she did not know any offensive spells. Now she's casting stone? It's a not karate imp. Isn't it amazing? Did the breeze always feel this good? Was the ground always this warm? I'm so glad I finally understand. I just wish I could tell Mother how incredible nature feels. Oh, you're injured. Here. Don't worry. Healing doesn't drain me anymore. Not since I learned how to borrow from nature. And I have you to thank for that. Let's return to the guild. We have to explain everything to Brother Izumi. Okay, I want to test something here. go here. Doesn't matter which road you go to. Just go here. Okay, from here. Oh, so it doesn't bring it back to the city. That's unfortunate. Alright, just gonna teleport. That is unfortunate. Missed. Nope. You're down here. Welcome back, Clalin. Sophie. Our mission was a success, Guildmaster. Quite. I take it the two of you conspired to defy my orders? Well, the forest was suffering. We couldn't just walk away. It's not Clalin's fault, it's mine. It was all my idea. I take full responsibility. Calm yourself, child. You did nothing I did not foresee. I am of no mind to lecture you. Indeed, Gridania is indebted to you for your heroic deeds. The corruption born of Akamine has taken root in the calamity-weakened soil. There's no telling how much further it might have spread if you had not defeated the creature. If I'm not mistaken, Sylvie, you succeeded in drawing upon the energies of nature during the battle. How did you? Yes, I did. Not really sure how to explain it. I remember thinking how badly I want to help Clalin. Then suddenly felt the power surging through me. That is as it should be. One does not simply choose to borrow from nature's strength. The mind may command only that which the heart permits. In your desperation to help your friend, you opened your heart to nature, and nature responded to your need. But we must not forget your part in this. It is clear to me that your journey with Sophie has brought you still closer to the pinnacle of our art. I believe you're ready for the last of my teachings. Thus, it is a great pleasure that I pass on another of our guild's magics. A potent form of the cure spell is now yours to command. I have no doubt that it will serve you well in your coming endeavors. Wheresoever you go, nature will go with you, my friend. Ever shall the earth meet your footfall, and the wind guide your path. Learn Cure 2. Alright, that is the end for the Conjurer storyline. So, let's just jump right into the White Mage. I have to actually activate it. Whoops. Healer. White Mage Part 1. Tradition dictates that the Pajali alone may perform the rite of white magic, a practice that has long maintained balance within the Twelvewood. Yet fate would conspire to bequeath upon you a soul crystal, the legacy of the renowned white mage Atoakan. And so, under the guidance of Rhea Osena, you begin your journey down the path of the White Mage. forgot. I gotta take off this drill because it still considers me a conjurer. Clalin, I am glad you've come. I have a task of a most urgent and confidential nature, and I can think of none other of whom I can entrust it. You are doubtless familiar with the Seed Seers, yes? Connie Senna, Elder Seed Seer, leader of the Order of the Twin Adder, and guardian of our fair nation, clearly needs no introduction. But know you also of her siblings? The two young Pajals, sister Rhea Usenna and brother Arun Senna, make for Evershade as we speak, where they will perform a ritual of great import. Verily, such import that it would be no overstatement to say that the very fate of Gridania hangs in the balance. As you well know, we dwell in this forest by the grace of the elementals, eternal guardians of the 12 woods, and most of all, the great one who dwells within the guardian tree. Yet our ceaseless warring and ill treatment of the trees that shelter us has aroused the great one's ire, and it is only by the quieting, the ritual of which I spoke, that he may be placated. Thus did the two Seed Seers set out for Evershade. Evershade? With nary a guard to accompany them. Therein lies the rub, and the nature of their favor I have to ask. By no means would I question the powers of the Seed Seers, but with the Great One's anger mounting, the Twelveswood becomes a threatening domain for even the most pursuant of conjurers. Pray hasten to Evershade, and see that no harm befalls the two. Now, Evershade is in South Shroud, right next to Camp Tranquil. I take that back. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, now we're going the right way. The right way. There's more down here. Okay, so let's jump. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, you're going to the fight right away. Okay, let's go. Curses! How can we hope to make it to the Guardian Tree with these ghastly creatures bursting forth like rampant weeds? If I had known what we were in for, I'd have brought along a wood whaler or two. In fact, I dare say we should return and do exactly that. Oh, to not be such a coward, sister. We are Seed Seers. These overgrown vermin are no match for us. Bold words, brother. But were they true words? Were they true words, we would have dispatched our enemies and arrived safely at our destination bells ago. Hi. Hmm? A conjurer, you say? Brother Isumi, ever the warrior. For once, however, his solicitude is most welcome. Might you help us? Might you help us dispose of these fell creatures? Have you no pride, sister? At siege here does not beg the aid of some common adventurer. Enough, brother. We have a duty to perform. A duty that takes precedence over our silly notions of pride. Now, enough talk. Let us see to these pests. Bene. Alright, let's get rid of some of the smaller stuff. Hey, I got stone skin on. Oh my. That crystal. Do my eyes deceive me? Or does this embarrass? Do my eyes deceive me, or does this adventure inherit the legacy of Atoakant? It was none other than Atoa himself who last performed the quieting. No, I do not believe this adventure's arrival is mere coincidence. Bearer of the Soul Crystal, inheritor of arcane knowledge long since forbidden to those not of our kind. I know not why it is you he chose, but I believe our great forefather had led you to us today. Ancient tradition dictates that the quieting be performed by three pashas. But I misspeak. The ritual is to be performed by 3 white mages. If Master Atoa truly has chosen this adventurer as his successor? You speak madness, sister. Surely you have not forgotten that Pajali tradition strictly forbids sharing the teachings with those not of our kind. The power of white magic is far too great to risk it falling into the wrong hands. So you would uphold tradition merely for tradition's sake, even at the risk of incurring the Great One's wrath and bring disaster upon our forest home? Have you so little faith in your own abilities, sister? We are seed seers, more than capable of slaying any beast in our way and carrying out the ritual on our own. This petty bickering is getting us nowhere. Adventurer, I am sorry to trouble you with our silly sibling squabbles. If you've the time, I would speak with you further. But not here. Come Come to Camp Tranquil, and come quickly. Time is of the essence. Alright, let's go to Camp Tranquil. Kind of interesting seeing the lag between the gameplay and Twitch. It's kind of cool in a way. If you hear dogs rumbling, that's our neighbor's dogs. She can be a bit excited when one or both of her human parents return. Kupo. Why, I've served Rayo since she was a little girl no bigger than me, Kupo. She has matured much since the calamity. Her brother Arun, on the other hand. When she was a child, Rayo had quite a temper. She was a sweet little girl now. She's a sweet little girl now, but a Moogle does not easily forget. Even now, the sound of her voice makes my fur stand on end, Kupo. Thank you for coming, adventurer. Forgive my brother's rudeness. He cannot help that he was born with a head of solid stone. Anyways, I do not believe we have been properly introduced. I am Rhea Osena, a Pajal, as you can see, and sister of the Elder Seedseer. And you are Clalin, yes? Brother Isum has spoken of you, and most highly at that. As you no doubt have heard, my brother, Arun, and I were en route to the Guardian Tree. There, the Great One, by whose graces we dwell here, resides. The gentlest of guardians when at peace, a destructive force that knows no bounds when angered. As the Great One goes, so goes our fate. The creatures you helped us dispatch, doubtless they too were roused to hostility by the Great One in his anger. You need only look around you to see. The forest grows more and more threatening with each passing hour, and it is that we traveled here to quell the Great One's fury, to perform the quieting. In days of old, the ritual was, without fail, performed by 3 white mages. With our elder Seedseer occupied with her many duties, my brother and I thought to attempt it on our own. Arun was quite confident, but I had my doubts. It was then that you arrived, and shortly thereafter became one of the chosen few to be gifted with a white mage's soul crystal. 'Tis no small honor. That gem marks you as an inheritor of the magic of our ancestors. My brother's pride may blind him, but the signs are clear as day to me. You are not Pajali, but Atoa-Kent meant for you to be here today, to perform the ritual with us. Atoa-Kent is known to all as one of the greatest mages in our history, but even more so, he was known for being something of an eccentric. In defiance of tradition, he bid farewell to his forest home, wandering the realm, and healing the wounds of the land and its people wheresoever he went. A most admirable cause, yes? But alas, Atoa was never to return. He perished in a far-off land, and having taken no apprentices, his legendary powers were lost to us for eternity. Or so I believed, until I met you. And yet, for all his stubbornness, there is some truth to my brother's words. Ancient laws forbid us from sharing the teachings of white magic outside of our own kind. There are reasons for this, which I would share with you when the time is right. There are many who do not approve of this arrangement. Still, I am convinced that it is Atoa's will that bring you into the fold. And so I welcome you, Clalin of the White. I feel the Great One's fury welling up even now. Time is short, and yet while you may have been chosen by Atoa, I fear your journey as a white mage has just begun. Return to me when you have further honed your skills, and we shall proceed with your training. White mage unlocked. Oh, now I click this. There we go. Accept. Ah, Clalin. Looking ever more the white mage, I see. And yet, I fear you are as ready to perform the quieting as a chocobo chick is to carry a woodware clad in full armor, in full plate. But take heart, for we all must begin somewhere. Today I will teach you the art of communing with the elementals. That is, by any measure, the very foundation of our art. The means by which we preserve harmony between the forest and our people. Not far from Sorrel Haven you will find a tree, a mere sapling of the shadow of the guardian tree, but one that has likewise been consumed by anger and fear. I would ask you to placate this tree. The process is quite simple. Stand before the tree and raise your hands. Commune with the elementals that reside within and attune yourself to them, until your feelings are in absolute harmony. Be forewarned, however. An angry elemental can be as stubborn as my dear brother. Do not be surprised if you find your honest plea rebuffed and foul creatures sent to drive you from the forest. No matter what happens, you must remain calm. Dispatch the creatures, settle your heart, and speak to the tree once more. If your heart is true, your voice will reach the elemental ere long. But remember this, Clalin. Under no circumstances must you allow your anger or fear to overcome you. As practitioners of white magic, the magic of succor and solace, such emotions are anathema to our very existence. Sorrel Heaven, where's that again? Ah, Central Shroud. Okay, let's go. Only you can prevent forest ire. Interesting name for that. That takes care of him. Alright, that was quick. A short while ago, a sense of great anger abated. The forest is quieter, more welcoming now. It would seem you have passed your first test. The trees are the elementals. The elementals are the trees. The lush verdure of the wood is inseparable from the spirits that dwell within. But you do not need to hear this from me. Doubtless you felt it for yourself when you healed that tree. Above all else, the elementals prize harmony. Were they to sense a threat to harmony, they summoned forth all the powers at their disposal to expulse it. For so long as we had lived with the elementals, why now do they turn against us? I can offer no answers, only theories. But one thing is certain, we must quell the Great One's fury and do it soon. lest Gridania bear the full brunt of the forest's wrath. To soothe the forest's wounds and restore harmony, it is our duty as mages of the White, and it is a responsibility that transcends race or nation. I sense your success in soothing the ailing tree, and am more certain of this than ever. Sadly, many cannot see past established practice and tradition, my dear brother among them. One would hope for more open-mindedness given his youth, but alas, his pride as a Pajal will not permit it. For my part, I am not entirely unsympathetic to his concerns, and yet the task before us is too great. We must bring him around to see reason, but how? Forgive me, Clalin. I would be alone with my thoughts for a while. Were I not, I'll find a way to deal with Audun. Ooh, regen, good. Clalin, I owe you an apology. When last we spoke, I promised that I would find a way to convince my brother to accept you, but I fear he intently refuses to heed my words. Why, the more I try to reason with him, the more he shuts his ears to me. All pride and no common sense, that one. I can scarce believe we are kin. So intent he is to prove that you are unneeded that he dashed out into the forest all alone, boasting that he would placate every last elemental and save the forest by himself. Needless to say, such a task is beyond his powers. There is a part of me that would like nothing more than to see the foolish boy learn his lesson, but yet, as a sister, I fear for him. Would you go look after him, sincere or no? Sincere or no, he is in many ways still a child, and the forest grows ever more unsafe these days. I thought to go myself, but if you were to save my brother from his own recklessness, perhaps you might finally see how fatuous he has been. When last I spoke with him, he announced his intention of bringing his efforts in the bramble patch. With any luck, you may still find him in there. Now, please go in haste, before some ill fate befalls him. So we go to East Shroud from here. Should be a wine cellar here. There it is. Hey, you okay, buddy? That isn't my sister's favorite adventurer. Come to show me up, have you? Well, you can march right back and tell sister I'm doing just fine. I am only resting. Even if I were hurt and unable to placate this tree, what could a run-of-the-mill adventurer like you do about it? Alright, let's go. Alright, they're done. That may have been a little bit too much. beginner's luck. If you think healing a sapling or two is going to convince me that you are a worthy inheritor of the teachings of Master Atoa, Arun, you... Oh. Hang on. Arun, you yourself do not believe those words. Sister, what are you doing here? Seeing to my pig-headed brother's safety, what else do you think I'm doing? For better or worse, it would appear you suffer only from bruises to your leg and your pride. Arun, for all your obstinacy, for Arun, for all your obstinacy, I know that deep down you are no fool. Obstinacy. Okay. No, you're wise beyond your years. You realize as well as I the dire fate that will befall Gridania if we do not quell the Great One's fury and restore peace to the wood. The adventure is not Pajali. This is true. But what of it? Would you blindly trumpet tradition at the very force, as the very force turns against us and brings ruin to our home? We have a greater calling to answer. You know this. I do, sister. Oh, my dear Arun. What are sisters for, if not to forgive their little brothers' fits of folly? Now, I believe the most important task of all still awaits us. Let us return to Camp Tranquil. Alright. Yeah, I'm teleporting more than usual right now. Hey, it's a swollen Giga. Clalin, thank you. I knew it was only a matter of time before Arun came around to reason, and yet his insistence to accept you was not entirely unfounded. When we first met, I promised that one day I would share with you the tale of how white magic came to be regarded as a forbidden art. Well, I suppose this is as good a day as any for the telling. The tale begins some 3 millennia ago, in the 5th Astral Era. It was the time of the endless frost, when a barren wasteland of snow and rime stretched as far as the eye can see. Food was scarce and warmth scarcer. The histories hold many grim tales of those who died in their beds. Starving and benumbed, so did our ancestors discover magic, born out of the most fundamental instinct: survival. In time, the winter thawed, and magic was no longer essential for survival. But once awakened to its conveniences, there was no returning to how things once were. Ere long, the people discovered all the myriad ways in which magic could be employed, and civilization flourished. But prosperity breeds contempt, and nations warred for power and riches. So did the people seek greater and greater power to retain destruction down upon their enemies. So was born black magic, the most devastating form of sorcery the world had seen. At the same time, another form of magic emerged, brought forth by those who would keep this immense destructive power in check. That is white magic, our magic. Does this surprise you? Just as there can be no dawn before the night, the white and black are but two sides of the same coin. War raged on, and magic was used and abused with little concern for the consequences. And consequences there were. Unchecked use of magic soon dried the flow of ether, threatening to bring blight to the land. The magic of healing? it made little difference. If used with no concern for the ether, our magic could prove as ruinous to the land as the most devastating black magic spell. And so, it was with that the practicing of white magic was forbidden, with one exception, the Pajal. Our kind were entrusted as sole shepherds of the now forgotten art, to serve as healers and bringers of peace while ensuring that this great power would never again be misused. Though he was still young, Audun feels this profound sense of responsibility as strongly as any of us. Thus his hesitance to accept you. But having seen your abilities and the sincerity of your intentions, you can rest assured his doubts have been dispelled. With the three of us united in place and purpose, and your skills ever growing, the day that we may perform the quieting draws near. To our fortune, the Great One has not yet been entirely consumed by fury, but our time remaining short. To commune with the Great One and restore the Twelvewood to its former state of harmony, we must truly be one of heart and one of mind. It is to this end that Atoakant has guided you to us. Further your mastery of our art, Clalin, and let us mend the wounds of the wood together. Your command of white magic has advanced considerably, Clalin. Yes, the time draws near. Let us begin our preparations for the quieting. At its roots, the ritual is no different than the act of pacifying that you have already performed. The difference lies only in the difficulty of the effort. The Great One professes a power unfathomably more immense than the elementals you have communed with thus far. Power so immense that a mage might be easily overwhelmed by the sheer force of its will. To prevent such a catastrophic fate, our tradition decrees that a special garb must be donned before performing the ritual. I have prepared for you these pieces, but I feel they will not avail you in their current state. So it is that I will send you on a journey. I trust you know the story of Atoakant. Rare among the Pajals, he left the forest behind to travel the realm, healing the land and its people. Whoops, I'm sorry, folks. Let me hide this for a sec. You can read this. Here. I prepared for you these pieces, but I fear they will not avail you in their current state. So it is that I will send you on a journey. Not sure can you actually read that. I trust you know the story of Atoakant. Rare among the Pajal, he left the forest behind to travel the realm, healing the land and its people. As tribute to his wanderlust, after he passed, his ashes were divided among several urns, which were in turn carried to the far reaches of the realm. And it was there, in the distant lands, that the great mage so loved that his ashes were buried, and monuments erected in his honor. You are to go on a pilgrimage to these sites and receive the blessings of your forebear. Only then will the garb I have gifted you be imbued with his divine powers. Mind you, will find that these places are not as welcoming as they might have been in Master Toa's time. The first site on the shores of western Lanosha, in a place now feared as the Serpent's Tongue, home to a band of vile pirates. The next is to be found in Mordona, in that overgrown labyrinth of roots and vines so effectively known as the Tangle. I do hope the Master of Toa's ashes have survived most of those oppressive environs. The third I would have you visit is perhaps the most treacherous location of the lot, Ralbon's Push in northern Thanalan, a stone's throw from an Imperial stronghold. I urge you to exercise extreme caution. Let's start here. Back in the airport. Windy. I'll give this to Final Fantasy XI. When it came to windy weather, they'd actually have tornadoes somewhere out in the distance, where you can actually walk up to the tornado. It'd be like a small twister. It wouldn't do anything to you. It was still a cool touch. They even did that in the deserts as well. I don't remember if it was just dusty weather or... Yeah, you would see like a huge twirling sandstorm, like fire NATO, but more like sand NATO. And don't worry, there are no Sharknadoes in here. Yep. Epitaph to philosophy. Oh no, the fate failed. That's unfortunate. The gravestone is inscribed with an epitaph paying tribute to the life and deeds of the great mage Atoakant. So let's pray. Oh, I got the healer's gloves. Next, we go to the Tangle. There it is. Epitaph to Discovery. The gravestone is inscribed with an epitaph paying tribute to the life and deeds of the great mage Atoakant. Oh yeah, so the same thing as before. Pray. They give me some boots. Alright, so from here, I could teleport to Northern Clalin, but it might be quick just to take the Chocobo, because, well, Northern Chlalin's right here. And I think the northern part of Northern Clalin, so this will bring it directly to the north part of Northern Clalin. So it's down here somewhere. Epitaph to Fluidity. Pray. Back here. Your safe return heartens me. I can feel newfound power emanating from the garb I gave you. I trust that this stage of your pilgrimage was a success. Now then, you have traveled the realm and seen the land as Master Atoa did. I would share with you the rest of its tale. The histories claim that Atoa disappeared in the mountains of Ogamoto, the kobold motherland. This is not untrue, but there is more to the story. When the great mage did not return from his journey, one of his most devoted students went in search of him. As the legends have it, the young mage single-handedly fought off variable legions of kobolds while scouring the mountains for any sign of his master. Sadly, it was as all had feared. Though the young mage eventually found his master, the great Atoa lived no more. As if the death of the man was not enough, Tyrus, Atoa's great staff, a mighty relic passed down by his ancestors, was lost in the shadows. I'm wearing that, actually, right now. Undeterred, the young mage fought off the kobold horse and carried his master's remains back to the surface. A ceremony was held to honor Master Atoa's life and deeds, and urns housed his ashes were carried off to the far-reaching frontiers of which he was so fond in his living years. All the urns, that is, except for one. Yes, though the precise location is known to only a few, Master Atoa can rest closer to home. Here, in the Twelvewood, not far from Proud Creek, you'll find yet another monument to the great mage. Take with you this habit, and pay your respects as before. If you keep pure intentions in your heart and in your mind, then the healer's robe shall be your reward. Proud Creek. Epitaph the Infancy. The grave has been defiled, and its contents appear to have been stolen. The power of Atoa has been lost here. Return to Camp Tranquil and seek counsel from Rodea Osana. New White Mage's Robe. A new habit for a white mage, or a habit for a new white mage? The urn holding Master Atoa's ashes was stolen? This cannot be. Grave robbery is a damnable enough crime in itself, but what manner of scoundrel would dare defile the resting place of a pajal? Rest assured that I will investigate this heinous crime immediately. In the meantime, your pilgrimage demands you travel to one last destination. The final leg of your journey will take you to the very place that Master Atoa drew his last breath, Ogamoto, the homeland of the kobolds in Outer Lenosha. It is there, in plain sight of the kobold dig, that the student of whom I spoke did erect a monument of his fallen master. Epitaph to expiry. And healer's circlet. Alright. Let's go hand in this quest. Welcome back, Clalin. The journey was not an easy one, I trust, and yet I knew that Master Otoa would guide you safely back to me. In your travels, you have received the blessings of our great ancestor, and yet this was not the sole reason I sent you on this pilgrimage. Mayhaps you sensed something my intentions during your trip? Yes, as she who would inherit Master Otoa's legacy, I wanted you truly to walk in his footsteps, to see the realm, in both its beauty and its suffering, with your own eyes, as the great mage did so long ago. And yet, it is strange, no? A pirate's lair, a rampant jungle, mountains of fire, and all the hostile environments to which you journeyed. The single grave they spoiled was that which rests right here in our forest home. I suspect this was the handiwork of no witless grave robber, but rather someone who knew all too well the value of which was buried within. We must uncover the truth behind this crime and return Master Otoa's ashes to their rightful resting place, and quickly. You are with me, yes? Grave robbery is a loathsome enough crime in its own right, but to defile the final resting place of a Pajal, such an act can only be performed by the loyalist of bandit scum. Though I would like to think that the elementals have already delivered due justice to the villain, we must take no chances in allowing an escape. Whilst you are here, I put my best Moogle on the hunt, searching for any sign of the culprit of the stolen remains. I dare say he should have a clue or two for us by now. At least he better, if he values that little ball in his head. Suffice to say, though, many forest-born think of the Moogles as blessed. My own personal experience has found them to be more touched than anything else. Hi, old mistress, you shouldn't say such hurtful things. It's most unbecoming of a seed seer, Kupo. But fine, don't listen to me. Why, I told her just the other day that this is why she remains, shall we say, unspoken for. She might not react to that phrasing at present, but her ire was indeed fierce, Kupo. Of course, you have not come to discuss my mistress's temper, but the grave robbery. A most unforgivable act of villainy, if I do say so myself, which I believe I just did, Kupo. I am pleased to or you will be pleased to hear, that the culprit did not escape Mughal eyes, Kupo. Well, my eyes he did escape. My associate, Puknopoki, however, claims to have seen a band of ruffians skulking off in the direction of Red Belly Hive with various and sundry stolen goods in tow. Among them, a rather conspicuously elaborate urn, Kupo. Puknopoki is part of the Bard storyline, as shown 2 streams ago. I do not know what the Red Village are up to, but surely it can be nothing good. Please, Clalin, go quickly. If the urn is lost, I fear Reao's ire will be the least of my worries, Kupo. Hey, it's in the same area as us. Those thieving crooks, those crooked thieves, defile the wrestling pits of a Pajal. Why, no amount of thrashings, lashings, and bashings would suffice. Kupopo? Why, it isn't the lovely white mage Kupcha Kupa spoke of. Not a moment too soon. Why, I was just about to swoop in and give them their comeuppance myself. Now that you're here, however, I believe I'll just sit back and enjoy the show, Kupo. Those vile red billies tossed the urn onto some ramshackle wagon, a most ignoble fate of a Pajal legend. I do declare, and carted it northwards towards their hive. You will achieve it safe and sound, won't you, Kupo? Kupo, of course. Here, I'll take care of these red billy guys. These have better days. That should kill them all. Let the bodies hit the floor. What was this objective for? Ooh, I beat 100,000 enemies. Ooh, a butcher's crown. Cool. Almost done with this quest. Atoakant's ashes. The final remains of the wandering Pajal Atoakant. Thank you, Clalin. The remains of our exalted forebear hauled away by brigands like a sack of loot. Is that what our land has come to? There can be no doubt. It is the Great One's fury that brings such chaos to the Twelfth Wood. The situation is grave indeed. I also have a wood whalers deal with the red bellies. We have more important matters before us. And yet, I fear we have hit another snag. I thought the urn had been safely recovered, but the harsh treatment it suffered at the hands of the bandits has taken its toll. Uprooted from its proper resting place, the power of a Toa once housed within had grown dim. I shall return their urn to its proper home. Perhaps over time it will return to its former state. And yet I fear time is a luxury we do not have. We must explore other means to enchant the ritual garb. I'll consult with my brother there to see what knowledge he might have to offer. In the meantime, I would ask that you master your newfound skills as best you can. There is no telling when the Great One's fury might soon grow too strong to contain. You must ever be prepared. Alright, time to start the final cuts of the White Mage storyline for Final Fantasy XIV's A Realm Reborn. Forgive me, Clalin. Brother and I have considered every possibility and attempted every incantation at our disposal, but I fear the task of completing the enchantment has proven beyond our abilities. No living Pajal, not even our sister, possesses such power. Without the blessing of a Toakant, there is nothing we can do. With the ashes returned to their rightful place, a Toakant spirit will return. Surely it is only a matter of time. Look around you, sister. Open your eyes and ears. Time is one thing we do not have. Arun? The fury of the Great One mounts with each passing moment. It will not be contained much longer. No, the time for waiting is long past. Now is the time for action. But Clalin's garb! The enchanting is not yet complete. The situation is far from ideal, yet we have no choice. We must trust in Clalin's power and do what we can. Do I hear you right, Arun? Why, it was not long ago you objected to Clalin's very presence at the ritual. I may be stubborn, sister, but I am no fool. I have witnessed Clalin's abilities with my own eyes. There can be no doubting that she is a mage of the white, and one as worthy as you and I. Arun, if you place your trust in Clalin so, then I see no reason why I should not. Very well, let us hasten for Evershade. All right. Is something the matter? There is no time to lose faith in your abilities. Hurry and take your place by the guardian tree. Clalin, I speak to you now as my peer. The fate of Gridania lies in the balance. We can ill afford to fail. Alright, let's go. Interacting. proceed. Oh my. Trees and crabs. The Great One's rage is too strong. I cannot reach him. Stay focused, Arun. If we fall, who will rise to take our place? But sister, the force itself turns against us. If we could only reach the Great One, his minions will relent. Cast away your worries and focus your mind on the ritual. No, Clalin! Stand strong, Clalin. Are you gonna let some overgrown shrub ruffle your feathers? And the two of you, don't you have a ritual to perform? Do my eyes deceive me? There's no time for chit-chat. Reo, Arun, Clalin, focus your energies on the Guardian Tree. We must quell the Great One's fury, dispatch its minions, and resume the quieting. Now, focus your powers on the Guardian Tree. Is it over? The Great One's anger abates. You have done well, my children. Master Atoa, do you truly live? Live? Not as you would define the word. Mayhap in the heart of Clalin here, whose strength I borrowed to join you. It's a miracle. Aye. It may very well be. Or perhaps the Mother Crystal heard of this old soul's wish. I lived a long and fruitful life, but back when I drew my last breath in Okamoto that day, I did so with one profound regret, that I would pass from this realm without finding a worthy inheritor to bequeath my knowledge in full. My spirit left my lifeless body to abide in this soul crystal, with the hope that one day it would find its way into the hands of my successor. For years my conscience slumbered in the darkness, until I met Clalin. From the moment you took my crystal in hand, I knew, Pajalano, I had at long last found one to whom I could truly pass on my knowledge. Yes, Clalin, I knew, Master Atoa. Master Atoa? The power of the crystal grows faint. It would seem my all too brief sojourn here has come to an end. Farewell, Clalin of the White. Farewell, my children. I leave my forest home in your capable hands. Master Atoa, he has left us. And yet by his power and that of his successor, the Great One's fury is quelled, and the Twelvewood is safe. Though Master Atoa traveled the world, no doubt his heart always remained here. In the forest home he loved, he waited for us. Why, brother, for once, you almost sounded wise beyond your years. Strange, is it not? Perhaps I've finally learned something from you, dear sister. As I could learn something from you, Arun. Your pride as a Pajal, your deep respect for our past. These are traits to be admired. The same can be said for Master Atoa's liberality. Yes, I believe there is a place for both beliefs among our kind. The road is a long and winding one, but at long last our work is done. Let us return to Camp Tranquil. You have restored harmony to the forest. That was a loud noise. Alright. To meet Master Atoa in the flesh. Well, not flesh, perhaps. I am still shaken from the experience. And from the pure joy of seeing peace return to my forest home at last. I will be forever grateful to you, Clalin. I am honored that we were able to heal the wood together. I speak not only for myself, my brother has expressed the same sentiments. Were Master Atoya here, I'm sure he would say the same. Though, perhaps he is still here in some form. Behold, the final piece of your garb now pulses with his ancient power. Yes, there can be no doubt that Master Atoya intended this as his parting gift to you. Take it, and wear it with pride, Clalin of the White. Before we part, I would bestow upon you a present of my own. By the ancient powers vested in me as a seed seer, I bestow upon you the greatest incantation known to our kind. May you ever heed the will of the elementals and use it in wisdom and compassion. Phew, I'm not given to the formalities, I swear, but I do not know how my sister manages. In the short time I have known you, you have grown into a fine white mage. I am honored to call you my peer. Use your powers in moderation and let compassion be your guide, and I have no doubt that you will bring succor and solace wherever your journey takes you. Benediction. And with this concludes the White Mage branch of the class and job classes of Final Fantasy XIV's A Realm Reborn. With this, we have 4 jobs left to work towards. I'm going to be taking a small break. I will return tonight for my 3rd and final stream of the evening. And this evening, I'm going to continue the quest line for jobs and classes, and I'm going to be working towards botany. I know I still have Lantern Dragoon to go through. I'm going to save that one for last, just because I can. So we're going to work on botany tonight, and if there's time, I may work on one of the 2 crafts in Gridania. There'll be botany, carpentry, leatherworking, and finally Lantern Dragoon. We'll see what happens tonight. Until then, I have some supper to make. I need a little bit more cleaning to do, more chores. I shall be back this evening to continue this journey through Final Fantasy XIV's quest, its story. Till then, I'm going to have myself a great supper. Everyone else, you take care. I'll see you all tonight.